Welcome back to TechnoSage on YouTube channel. So AMD's Ryzen 8000 APU, Strix Point APU has been spotted, and it is based on Zen 5 and a 12 core 24 thread CPU, and it is an integrated GPU. As you can see, AMD Strix internal GPU, and it has 512 MB RAM, GDDR6 SD RAM, and unified 1024 cores. And this is nice because we already know there is another Strix Hello Point which is in the works, which is 40 compute units, but this is an engineering sample. AMD's engineering sample, it is called STX 180 with TDP of 45 watts, and it has 4 cores, 8 thread performance, and 8 core 16 threads efficiency, which is a nice thing to see. It is similar, not similar to Intel's implementation, because in Intel's implementation, efficiency core is not there with it has a different architecture, and it doesn't have hyper threading. But AMD's implementation, it has hyper threading, and it comes with 1024 shader cores, which is equivalent to 16 compute unit. And there will be Strix Hello Point something later down the line which will have more cores for the CUs. And NVIDIA's RTX 4060 Ti 16GB variant has been dropped in pricing by $50, as you can see on the screen here. As MSI Ventures 4060 Ti, which is now $449.99, down from $500. And this is why you need competition, because AMD launched their 7700XT and 7800XT, and now to compete against them, they need to drop the pricing, which is a nice thing to see because you need pricing. If AMD was their equivalent, the AMD might have increased their pricing also, but yeah, AMD is there to challenge. And Scott Hackerman did some interview with Clubs 386, and in that interview, they were asked many questions regarding the GPUs and stuff, like how do you decide which GPU to get and stuff. If you want, you can go all over through it by pausing the video, but the main thing I'm going is ray tracing performance. It is like ray tracing performance remains below NVIDIA's comparable cards, assuming this continues with RX 7800XT and 7700XT. What tools does AMD have to compare this weakness? And Scott Hackerman said like they focus on performance per dollar, and they see ray tracing performance into consideration when doing pricing conclusion. And we just have to do better on future generation, which we have the right architecture for efficient ray tracing, which we already saw there are architectures and stuff going on. And like on paper, how is performance energy efficiency when compared to 4070 and 4070 Ti, to which he said like in node boards efficiency matters, but in desktop for some user it doesn't matter, which is a weird thing to see. As you can see, Tom's Hardware also says like AMD says some gamers doesn't care about GPU power consumption and on just desktop, which is a weird to see because most of the gamers think about their power efficiency and stuff, because they have limited power supply and then they need to find a GPU for it, which is a weird thing to say. But yeah, they are highly power is a primitive initiative behind it. And the next question was like no 12 volt high power connector, and it says like for 1700 and 7600 for they didn't plan it, but for 7800 and 7700 they planned it. But they said like you shouldn't blame for end user for issues you have, you should catch an own problem, and just like we did with vapor chamber issue and then do it. Like it shouldn't be user's fault, and until this power issue is cleaned up and there's good confidence in the new connection, they will incorporate it. It's in their planning stage, but they won't do it unless it's fixed, which is a nice thing to see. Also, we have performance regarding 7800XT with 4070 and 4060 Ti, and also 7700XT, and it comes from TimeSpy 3D Mark TimeSpy, as you can see on the screen here. 7700XT literally beats RX 6800 and 4060 Ti 16GB variant, and 7800XT is less powerful compared to 6800XT, but it beat RTX 4070 in TimeSpy. And do note it's a synthetic benchmark, but which is weird to say is like 7700XT, which has less cores compared to like 6800, is beating 6800 and 4060 Ti, while 7800XT is having the same issue, which is having less cores compared to 6800XT, is not able to beat it, which is weird to see. But what comes down is pricing. As you can see, 7700XT when you compare it with 4060 Ti, its 4060 Ti is $499 while 7700XT is $449. Though with the price change it's similar, but 7800XT is $500 and it's beating $600 for the 70. which is awesome to see. We just need more benchmarks. But yeah, that's it from me today. What do you think about the news? Sound of your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will meet you in the next one. Peace.